Stop trying to perform. Stop trying to reach everybody and start being real and connecting. Somebody needs to hear this today. The world is waiting not for you to be and give your best performance ever. They're waiting for you to be real and to show up with something that's true and real and truly works that can help them right where they are right now. Today, let's talk about that. Hi, my name's Steve Kidd. I'm a third generation minister, international best-selling author of 40 books and counting. Over the course of the last 40 years in business, I've had the amazingly wonderful privilege of working with people all the way from brand new startups. They didn't even totally know what they wanted to do, all the way to multi-billionaires, doctors, lawyers, nurses, accountants, insurance people, but also stay-at-home moms, startup companies, Fortune 500 companies, but also companies who are just really doing amazing things in their local community, churches, missionary type of positions, and also, community outreach kind of situations that are just making the world a better place. It has been such an honor to work with each one of them. And I look forward to the opportunity to be able to help you show up, to be visible, to be valuable, to make the difference in this world that only you can make, because somebody is waiting on you. But what they're waiting on is not for you to be able to impress them with, how incredibly talented of a performer you are. And partially, yeah, partially I am, preaching to myself, the choir of the one me when I talk about this. But I know that there's some of you out there that need to hear this as well, because it's not about, getting up on the stage and giving the absolute stellar, bestest, mostest, wonderfulest performance. It is truly about being able to take the thing, and I want to say this really clearly, the thing that is the heart and soul and core of who you are, what you're passionate about, and more importantly, how that passion shows up as the purpose for you in this world, and to be real and to be there and to be fun. Fun with Leander. Hi, glad to have you here with us. You see, the world needs you. And most of us have been shared, told the real, unreal thought that it's about how great we are on camera, and how if we get the filter right, and if our, ring light is lit up properly enough, and if we've got, this angle and that angle, and multiple and B-roll and all that kind of stuff. And the truth about it is that what really works is you being real, you showing up with something that can really make a difference for them. They know, Charlotte, love Anthony, all of you. I'm so glad to have each one of you here with us, here today. I really appreciate each one of you. It is so incredibly cool when we give up the polish. And I'm not saying don't be good at what you're doing. I'm not saying haphazardly put things out there. But what I'm saying is, what is important is not your sound and your lighting and your capability and whether or not you don't say What's important is for you to show up. It's not about how impressive your credentials are. It's about how real your heart comes through with what you're doing. When people can tell, people can see it, they can know when you're being genuine and real with them. You see, performance doesn't build trust. Okay, performance may build lust. You see a particular performer, and there have been, throughout the years, you think about music industry and other industries of performers, that have had people that, have, pledged their lives, literally, to death sometimes, swooned over, all, whether you talk about Elvis or you talk about somebody that's, brand new out on stage just now, people that are madly, madly in love with that persona, that performer that's on stage. I think one of the funniest things I ever saw was when Gene Simmons had his TV show, and the fact that he slept at night in like footy pajamas, and it was just hilarious, because here is Gene Simmons, the demon from Kiss, the, ladies' man of all ladies' man. But yet at home, when it's just him and his family, when he goes to bed at night, he puts on footy pajamas, or long johns, full body long johns or whatever they were. It was hilarious, really. Denise, glad to have you here with us. It's that reality. And in some respects, that being real did as much for his career as all of the years of the performing that he did. He learned, and and I'm not even talking about things that may or may not have been true because it was a reality TV show. But I'm talking about things that have come out of his own mouth about how much he learned about what was really important in his life, up to and including how important Shannon was and how much he wanted her in his life. See, the performance, all those years, all those decades on stage, didn't do nearly as much as the reality. That's why, as much as you may love it or hate it, Ninja, glad to have you here with us. As much as you may love or hate the different types of reality shows, and there's a ton of them, the reason why they work so well is because of the quote unquote real aspect of it. Now, I understand that there are a lot of those people. Bob, glad to have you here with us. I know there's a lot of those people that are on reality TV shows that are totally playing a character. They're performing. Okay, but the ones that we really find ourselves connecting with are the ones who have those truly vulnerable moments. Not to put on, now tell me, set up that your grandma died when, in fact, she really didn't. But, people who they get caught breaking down in their weakest moment. Travis, glad to have you here with us. It really, truly is one of those kind of situations where when the performance goes away and the reality shows up, that's when we connect. And again, as we've always talked about, clarity, consistency, and connection. We have these people, they come into our lives on a consistent basis every whatever day of the week. If we're talking Survivor, it's on Wednesdays right now, every Wednesday they show up. And we feel like, at least, like we're getting an insight into who they truly are, so that we like this person and don't like that person. We want this person to win and we don't want that person to win. And the truth of the matter is that quote unquote reality, and I understand that I'm using an unreal to give you the example of it. If you start then looking at the influencers at any level, and I'm talking about somebody who has 20 people that absolutely rave about what they do, or people that have 20 million followers, the same thing is true. Those people feel connected to you. You consistently show up with a clear concept. In other words, the shows that catch on, and whether you're talking about a YouTube channel or you're talking about a TV show or whatever, the ones that catch on is when you know what you're getting. That there's a difference between, say, Survivor and The Amazing Race. That there's even a difference between the different dating shows like The Bachelor and Love is Blind. And it's the particular element that they put in there. And I understand there's all the production and all those kind of things. But it's about that clarity and that showing up consistently with their desire to, and it's, it's very much a performance phase when we talk about that. But The reason why these appeal to us is because we're looking to connect. We're so desperately wanting to make a connection. And all too often, that connection isn't happening. When you write that book and you just are vulnerable and valuable and you pour out who you are, when you then make sure that that book is marketed in such a way so that the people who it's meant for actually get to see it, it makes all the difference in the world. It really, truly changes things. When you're real and you're consistent, that's when the connection's going to happen. And after the person feels like they know us, hopefully does, but definitely feels like they know us, likes us, and trusts us, that's when they then want to know, what can I buy from you? What could we do together? What kind of work? What kind of collaboration? What kind of stuff could we do? That's what makes all the difference in this world. And absolutely, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, that starts with the words that you put into your book, with being vulnerable and valuable and reaching out and putting out that thing that you're meant to do in this world out in book form. And then using that book, marketing it so it's still available to people and getting it into people's hands so that they can know you, they can like you, and they can trust you. Now, I do marketing all day long, every day, especially with books. I can take a peek at your book and probably within a minute, at the most 5, but usually within one look at it, I can begin to tell you, here's some basic things you need to do with your book. And I've even gone through on a live and been, I'm going to go here, I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to, that kind of thing, to help you better connect. And if you'd like to do that, drop the link below. Just the link to your book. I will gladly take a look at it and give you some tips. Absolutely. And then we can go from there. I look forward to helping you. I want to see you connect and make the impact and the change, be the change in this world that you're meant to be. I'm so grateful for you. I appreciate that you came along for the ride with us today, that you're here. If you're watching live and you're going to watch the Super Bowl, or maybe you took some time out from watching the Olympics today, or you're spending time with family or whatever, I really appreciate that you were here with us today. I hope that you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. And then until we're together again next time, you have a great week.